Query Monitor activity summaries. One of the key features of Query Monitor is the ability to summarize performance data all the way down to the individual SQL statement. By default, Query Monitor will summarize per interval, Db2 subsystem, plan, package, collection, section number, statement type, and static SQL text. And this allows you to drill down all the way to the SQL text. In addition, there are optional summarization by dynamic SQL text if you have dynamic SQL workload, auth ID, correlation ID, or correlation name and correlation number. These are the interpreted versions of the correlation ID. So we extract the CICS transaction name or IMS transaction name. If you have distributed workload, there might be the workstation name, user, or transaction fields. You can also drill down by calls, which allows you to drill down all the way to the prepare, open, fetch, close, insert, delete, or whatever the individual API call is. Job name for batch workload, stored procedures if you have stored procedure workload, and there are a few others as well. In addition, Query Monitor can also collect data, object level data. So with that feature turned on, you can drill down to the Db2 database, page set, object, and buffer pool as well. So this allows us to use Query Monitor for use cases like these. So, for instance, we may want to identify the top 10 worst SQL statements for a certain drill down, the top 10 worst packages or the top 10 worst users. It also allows you to slice and dice performance data all the way, for a particular plan or package, or drill down. Another use case might be see which use IDs execute a specific statement, and so on. As I mentioned, we have object data, so it also allows you to identify which objects were accessed by a certain package or SQL statement or user or whatever, or the other way around, so identify which packages access a certain object. So let's drill down to the use cases. So let's address the first use case, identifying the worst SQL statements, packages, or users. So we go into option 1, activity summaries. These are the available drill downs. As mentioned, some of these drill downs are always enabled and some of them are optional. So for instance, if you want to take DBRMs or packages, option R, that one is always enabled. So we use this option, we get a list of all packages. So if I want to identify the worst ones, I need to do some sorting. The sorting and setting the columns and configuring this view is documented in a different video, so I'll not go into details here, but let's say that I want to look at the total CPU used. So I can do a sort CPU descending, and the data will be sorted by total CPU, and so the worst program right now on my system for this specific interval is this package. We could do the same exercise for plans. So these are the plans, sort CPU descending, and we see that this is the worst plan on my system. From here we could drill down as well and see more details. But let's do a third example, so by auth ID. So notice here that we have a blank value for some of the workload, and this is because auth ID is an optional key, so it has not been enabled for all workload. But let's do a sort CPU descending, and we see that this user is using the most CPU on my system for this interval, and from here we could drill down to the SQL statements that this user has been executed, and then we can do a similar exercise here, sort CPU descending, and then figure out what are the most expensive CPU statements by CPU that this user is executing, and we could start doing tuning for that. Query Monitor has about 100 different metrics. Some of these are shown on the screen here. When you drill down by user, plan, and package, these are typically CPU, elapsed time, and there are different information here, also related to delays, get pages, and some related to the Db2 Analytics Accelerator. There are additional statistics available. So D will show you delay statistics, for instance, synchronous I/O. L will show you log statistics, so log request, claim requests, also XES logs requests, and so on. There's miscellaneous statistics related to trigger execution, user-defined functions, stored procedures. Also here some information for dynamic statements about prepares and implicit prepares. And there's also buffer pool statistics available, so you can see the buffer pool hit ratio for this specific statement. Once you identify the worst statements, you can also launch Db2 SQL Performance Analyzer from here. This will take the statement into SQLPA. You can run and explain to see the access path of this statement, and perform what-if analysis, etc., etc. Okay, let's go back to Query Monitor. You can also do additional drill downs from here. So if you want to see under which package this was executed, you can see the package name. For instance, you can also see on which members of the data sharing group was this workload executed. In this case, only on a single member. You can also, if you have enabled objects, you can drill down by objects. So you can see here that there was a DSN virtual index table was index on this table was executed or accessed. Sys keys table was accessed. Another index was accessed as well. So all the drill downs are available here. So let's look at the second scenario. Which objects are accessed by a certain package? So let's say we drill down by package. We've already sorted by CPU, but now I want to see, for instance, this specific package, which is related to dynamic SQL, which objects are being accessed from here. So we can drill down and see these are the objects that were accessed. Let's take another example here. We have a DSN Rex program, and so these are the objects. And so we could sort by get pages descending and see which one has the most get pages. So it looks like this table has the most get pages for this workload. Specifically for distributed workload, dynamic SQL, it's not always easy to find out which objects were being accessed. So we can drill down by plan, for instance, go to this serve. I'll drill down by auth ID here, and then navigate to this user, see some statements here. We can drill down by objects from this statement. Obviously, you can look at the statement and try to figure out what it's accessing, or you could run and explain. But the information is also available here from Query Monitor, so we can see that this specific statement accessed this table. Here we have the similar statement, but with count, and you see here this one is doing accessing the index only, doing a index scan for that. There's another example here where also only an index is being accessed. Another variant of this would be to, given an object name, find out which of my dynamic SQL accesses this object. So we could drill down by object. I would be looking for a specific object, so I use the filter option. As mentioned, there's a separate video on that, but you can see I'm filtering for a specific table name, enable filtering, and I only see that specific one. Now I can drill down by plan, and here I see different plans, and here I would be interested in the distributed workload, and so I could see all the distributed workload that accesses this database, this table, and I see the statement here. So it gives you a way to drill down from an object and find the related distributed workload. So all of the different use cases we looked at shows how you can drill up and drill down, go from plan to package to object to user, or from user to plan to object to package, etc. So all of these are available with Query Monitor, allows you to slice and dice the performance data as you like to see.